What's going on, Trash Talkers? We're back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to give you our draft profile on standout left tackle Evan Neal. All that and much more coming your way right now! All right, Nick, we are continuing to inch closer and closer to the 2022 NFL Draft held in Las Vegas. And as a reminder, we will be there for the first day of the drafting, bringing that to you as an experience from us. So I want to get into Evan Neal, though, the star-studded left tackle coming out of the University of Alabama. This guy is just an absolute behemoth. He is just one of the most gargantuan humans that the NFL Draft has to offer, standing at a towering 6'7", 360 pounds. He is PFF's ranked #1 offensive tackle in this draft. Nick, you have his pro comparison as Orlando Brown Jr. for the Kansas City Chiefs. For me, he reminds me a lot of New England Patriots left tackle Trent Brown. I think that they have similar body sizes. Their ability to really work in the pass game and their ability to move defenders in the run game really stands out to me. We only have his senior stats in this draft profile simply because that's the only year he played left tackle. 15 games, played 1,073 snaps, 2 sacks allowed and 7 pressures, but out of those 2 and 7, 1 sack allowed in the national championship game, 2 pressures allowed in that national championship game against Georgia. So definitely something to watch out for. Is that was his toughest competition going against Georgia for the second time that season, and they knew how to attack him. They had some film on him. They knew how they would react when they went certain ways against them. They were able to get a couple of pressures and a sack on him. So definitely something NFL clubs want to keep in mind. Nick, why don't you get us started with strengths and weaknesses for Evan Neal? But before we do that, like the video and subscribe to the channel. It would help us greatly. Nick, why don't you get us started with Evan Neal's strengths and weaknesses?
Yeah, this guy is a behemoth of a man, like you said, and he is a massive body with extremely long arms. He's not just a big wall that's going to stand in front of you. He's going to hold you at a distance too, because this guy has a really long reach, which is going to play very poorly in the favor of edge rushers, because once this guy has his hands on you, he's not letting you go, and good luck trying to swim around this guy. He is not going to let much get past him. He is the ideal left tackle, the guy to block the blind side of your franchise quarterback. This is why Evan Neal is highly touted and speculated to go as the #1 overall pick to go protect Trevor Lawrence. He is an incredible talent, strong and powerful with an above average mobility. This guy may be large and like a brick wall, but he can move fairly well for his size, and with that strength and reach, it's a nasty combination that makes it very difficult to get past. For his weaknesses though, he does struggle with the weight issues. You see it listed at 360. He's gone down as low as 350, but he's ballooned as high as 375. This guy does struggle to keep his weight under control, which is going to be tough because he's going into an NFL season that is much longer than college football. He's going to have to be able to handle much better elite talent than he was used to in college for a much longer period of time. This is not going to be sustainable if his weight is too much. And then he lacks the quickness necessary for some of the speedy edge rushers in the NFL, like Montez Sweat or TJ Watt, Max Crosby. These guys have such incredible quickness coming off of the edge that it is going to be hard for him to handle because he is such a big guy. He does have some mobility, but he's got to work on keeping guys in front of him if he's going to be an elite left tackle in the NFL.
Absolutely. I mean, you said it. He definitely has some things he's got to work out, and going to the NFL level is all about being a professional, and those are the things that he's going to have to accept coaching from and accept his team's help, especially with the weight issue. We've seen offensive linemen and defensive linemen. One big name coming to mind, Albert Hainsworth, who could really never get the weight under control and just ate himself out of the league. We've seen it time and time again. But like I said, my pro comparison, Trent Brown, he had a weight issue as well. Did not work out in San Francisco, did not work out in Las Vegas. He came to New England both times, and he was able to keep the weight under control. He accepted the team's help. He worked with a dietitian and was able to get everything situated. So Evan Neal can definitely do that. But now as we move forward, I want to take a look at the potential teams, starting off with the Jacksonville Jaguars. This guy seems to be the consensus #1 overall pick. My question is he that much better than Cam Robinson, who is currently the left tackle for the Jaguars? My feeling is that Evan Neal right now, he is a solid foundational piece at left tackle, but so is Cam Robinson. I think that he has struggled with too many injuries over the last season to really give it a go and say, you know what, we're not going to use you as our left tackle anymore. And you didn't draft that guy that high to become your right tackle. So I don't think Jacksonville is the correct spot for Evan Neal.
Next up, we have the Detroit Lions at number 2 because Evan Neal is one of the best talents in the NFL. A lot of teams do like to go best available rather than go with their needs, and Evan Neal falls into that category for the Detroit Lions, but he definitely doesn't fit their needs. He is a little bit better of a fit for some other teams, but the Detroit Lions may want to improve upon Taylor Decker and Penny Sewell, possibly kick one of them inside and let big boy Evan Neal take the job of blocking for Jared Goff, because they've got an improving offense that's getting better. Jared Goff looked half decent last season. If DeAndre Swift can stay healthy, this would be one incredible line for him to run through. I think that this would be one of the more dominant offensive lines in the league if the Detroit Lions end up going after Evan Neal.
As we talked about, we think that the Detroit Lions would be best served with Aiden Hutchinson. So moving on to number 3, we have the Houston Texans, and the Houston Texans have Laramie Tunsil, who they gave up a ton of draft capital for. I mean, an absolute ton. Now, Evan Neal coming in, you don't want him taking over at left tackle after giving up so much of your future draft capital for Tunsil. You're not going to move him to right tackle, so it's just one of those things where it doesn't seem like the fit is there. Laramie Tunsil is an absolutely star-studded left tackle who can really hold his own. You're not going to move him to right tackle, and Evan Neal is not going to be the guy that moves over either. I'm not really seeing how the Houston Texans would be a great fit for Evan Neal moving forward.
Now, a possibility would definitely be our next team, the New York Jets. The Jets did not have Mekhi Becton for a lot of last season, missed some time due to a broken kneecap. They did draft Elijah Vera Tucker last year, but it seems like they want him playing a little bit more guard than they do tackle. Mekhi Becton has been rumored to possibly not even be on the team next season. They are definitely in the market for another tackle, somebody to block for Zach Wilson. They want to make sure that their potential franchise quarterback has the protection necessary for him to figure out his rookie woes, to get past those and really work with his wide receiving weapons. He's got to have a big, strong offensive line if Zach Wilson wants to be successful.
Now, it would be great to watch Mekhi Becton and Evan Neal as bookends for the New York Jets if you're a Jets fan. These guys would absolutely tower over opposing defenses, and when you take a look at Zach Wilson, well, he'd have to get on a stat ladder to throw over these guys, so definitely good luck to him, but definitely something that the Jets should consider, and honestly, all 4 of these teams should consider, and as you get deeper in the draft, if he were to continue to fall, I think that's something that every team should look at, is his just absolutely gargantuan frame and his ability to move defenders at will. So I want to hear from you guys, though. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of Evan Neal, where you want to see him go, and where you expect he'll be drafted. Let us know down below. All right, well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.